Alright, today I'm gonna give my opinions on Elon Musk real quick. This is not gonna be a political video because I don't want to make political videos, but I am gonna talk about Elon Musk aside from his politics. So, many years ago, I was very intrigued by the Tesla brand because I'm a car guy. I like cars and I have no discrimination against EVs. Even before Tesla was a huge company, I always thought, futuristic cars were cool no matter how they were powered. If they were cool, they were cool. Um, and Tesla didn't start catching my attention until they announced the Roadster. I think back in 2017, and I was like mind blown. But since 2017, my opinions on Elon and Tesla has changed. Not because of the media or because I've been manipulated by the masses or whatever. I have a brain and I could think for myself. Um, I think over the years, Tesla has declined significantly. Not only because of the quality of their products. I've seen many videos talking about the panel gaps and all their Model S's and 3s and stuff. And, you compare those things to a basic Audi, like a baseline Audi, and you'll see that there's a huge gap between the quality of build. I myself own a German car. I own a pretty affordable Volkswagen Golf, and I like the build quality. It's a budget car, but the build quality is amazing. And I've sat in a Tesla before, and to be honest, I think my basic Golf has a much better interior. It's a lot slower, but I think that there's something that comes with a company that's been existing for hundreds of years that doesn't exist in a new company such as Tesla. And um, one of my gripes with Tesla is Elon keeps giving false information about stuff. And as you can see here in this screenshot I have, this is when the Tesla Cybertruck was announced. I forgot what year this was. Was this like 2020? Hold on. Um, let's see. Tesla announcement Cybertruck. Oh, it was in 2019. And as we all know, a Cybertruck does not cost $40,000. When it was released, it was about six figures. And you could get a used one for about 90,000, I think. Okay, you could get a used Cybertruck, holy cow. You could get one for 72,000, which is a lot less than the MSRP, but you know how things are right now. Oh my god, I can't go back. They trapped me. I hate when they do this. Whatever. You get the point. Anyways, the Cybertruck was announced at a starting price of $39,000, but obviously that didn't happen, and I think the credibility that I have for Elon and Tesla went down because I was really sold on the Cybertruck. I thought it looked stupid, to be honest with you, but when he announced the performance specs, the ability of what it could do at a really affordable price, I thought he was a man for the people. But the moment the actual price came out and they canceled the cheaper models and just said you can only get it for $100,000, it was kind of a slap in the face. But I was like, all right, whatever. Let's just wait for the Roadster. That's my dream car. Back in 2017, I remember I was like, I don't care about a Lamborghini. My dream car was always an Audi R8. It has a V10 engine, but I didn't care about it anymore. I was like, you know what? By the time I have a lot of money, I don't want a V10 supercar. I want a Tesla Roadster because I want to be like Tron. In Tron when they all have these LED suits and they're flying through like this cyberpunk sort of like neon lit city. I want it to be that. That's the vision I had for when I saw the Cybertruck. I mean the Roadster. This was the Roadster. It's whoever designed it, they did a great job, and I was amazed. But this was announced in 2017. It's 2025. We have no updates on the Roadster. There might have been some whispers here and there, but let's be honest. There's no real information on when this thing's coming out. I think I saw an article that it's gonna get shipped or it's gonna start production at the end of 2025, but it was supposed to have production in 2020, in 2021, 2022. I think this is not gonna come out, and if it does, the specs are gonna be bullshit. I don't think it's real. So after all these years of waiting, at least I wanted to see rich people drive this on the street and know that this was a reality. But it's not. It's vaporware. I've seen this car in a museum, but it's just, it's a concept. It's a shell. It's not a real car. It looks cool, but that doesn't really matter if it's not a real product that people could buy. So after this, the credibility in my eyes went down. The credibility that I was giving Elon also went down because it felt like we were being lied to. We were lied to about the $48,000 Cybertruck price, and we're being lied about the launch date of the Roadster, even if it even exists. I remember Elon saying that the Roadster was gonna launch with this special edition rocket launcher. Like you could have this rocket edition, and I was like, dude, how about you launch the car and then you stick a rocket launcher onto it, But yeah, I give up. I don't want the Roadster anymore. I'm gonna stick to the Audi and Lambos because they actually make real shit. Lastly, Elon Musk. This is a recent thing. He was streaming his Path of Exile gameplay on a plane. Let's just read this real quick. Elon Musk streamed himself playing Path of Exile 2 during a flight as part of an airborne continuity test of his Starlink's internet service. But during the stream, he was bombarded by messages from viewers bullying him for his work dismantling the U.S. government. The stream lasted an hour and 45 minutes. He stared silently and solemnly at the camera as he played through the early parts of the game. During the stream, he died a few times, forcing him to create a new character as he played in hardcore difficulty. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, he was playing Path of Exile 2, which is a PC game, on his private plane to test his Starlink reception. But during the stream, people were talking shit because his politics, and then he was pretending to not see it. But then he was feeling pressured, so he died fighting a tutorial boss. And then he sort of just pretended like the signal was dying, and then he closed the stream, which is kind of sad, to be honest. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because I wish Elon would just focus on the things that mattered. For example, like launching the Roadster and, finishing what he started. He has like 5 companies. He had the boring company where he wanted to dig holes or dig tunnels and have your Tesla go under it so you could cut traffic. So it would be a solution to the congestion in LA. That company's not going anywhere. It was just a marketing stunt or a side project. It's not a real thing, as we all know now. So I just feel like he's wasting time. He's wasting time and energy and money with things that he thinks are funny or it's a joke. For example, this whole Path of Exile 2 thing. This for a while people thought he was one of the top players in the world, and it turns out he was paying people to play on his account. It's like, dude, why do you even care about being seen as a professional gamer if some of your biggest products aren't even launched yet? Like, there's things that need tending to that people have put money in, like the Cybertruck has recalls, the Roadster's not out yet. There's issues with your products that are being sold to people. You got to refine what's out there now instead of starting up new shit. It's like you don't have time to be a professional gamer. You got Tesla and you got SpaceX to worry about. And I think this whole Path of Exile 2 bullshit kind of pushes it over the edge. And I'm not even bringing up the politics. I don't want to focus on that, but it's like, dude, build great cars and deliver on your promises. And if you did that, people would give you a chance. Let's just say your politics weren't great, but let's just say you delivered a $40,000 Cybertruck for the people. Let's just say you delivered the Roadster that actually had the specs you promised and the price point you promised. People would be like, you know what? Elon Musk delivers on everything he's promised so far, so let's give him a chance. But the reality is, the majority of shit Elon Musk promised didn't come to fruition. So that a lot of people are doubtful, including me, about his future promises and his future actions. And I think having a lot of kids isn't a good look, especially with different mothers. You know, that's a whole can of worms we're opening up. A lot of people are saying if he could afford it, let him do it. But I honestly think having like 10 plus kids and trying to be a pro gamer and lying to people and like dodging, dodging responsibilities, not only in business but in fatherhood, it's sort of a slippery slope. And I think all of these things sort of stack up. And that's my opinion on Elon. Elon is going down because I think he is his own worst enemy. And I think it's sort of a shame because I was a fan. But I think, remember, I didn't mention anything about his politics. I'm mentioning everything else. I'm not taking his politics into consideration in this video because this is not a political video. This is a video about the Roadster, the Cybertruck, and him pretending to be a gamer. So because of all those things, I'm not a fan of Tesla. And I think he needs to take a few steps back, or many steps back, and focus on his companies, the things that made him rich. So yeah, that being said, the Roadster, I don't care about it anymore. Going back to the Audi, baby. Going back to the Lambos and the Audis, because they're not going to fail. Their quality of product is always up there. Anyways, speaking of cars, I wanted to compare the Cybertruck interior, which to me looks like the interior of a Severance office. If you haven't seen the show Severance, it looks like a Severance office. Severance is a great show on Apple TV. Basically, it's about people stuck in this weird company. They work in a weird company, and everything's just bland, and there's like nothing to look at. But everything in Severance looks like this. There's like white walls, and it looks like this crazy mental hospital. And I think that's the vibe I get from Tesla interiors. Now I want to give you a contrast. This is a Rivian interior. Now, if I wanted an EV high-end luxury car, Tesla would not be my option. It will be like a Rivian. I think they start at 40,000 and up. They go up to 100,000. I believe this model starts at, okay, I don't know, I can't find it, but the point is, their interiors look really good. And I think they're a lot more polished and put together. And there's more passion within the design than Tesla. So the point I'm getting at is, for a while Tesla could get away with neglecting certain things, like their interiors, their quality, because they had the technology, because they were the best EV vehicle that was available for the masses. But now because of companies like Rivian, Hyundai, even BMW or Volkswagen, all these companies, they're catching up. And once they catch up with the technology, everything else they're already good at is going to beat Tesla. For example, the interior, the build quality, the brand itself, the customer support, all of that thing, all the infrastructure, all of those things are going to put Tesla under, because people are going to want not just an EV, but a high quality EV that they enjoy sitting in. Like, look at this interior. Look at those stitching versus this. I don't know about you, but the obvious answer is this one looks better. So that's just a brief overview of what I think about Tesla and Elon. This was not a political video. Um, but yeah, share your thoughts below. I just felt like letting some things off my chest because the news about Tesla and Elon are so in your face these days. I figured I'd make a video. Anyways, subscribe for more random content because there will be more.